Alright, what's up guys? My name is Zach, and today I am driving a 2000 Honda Civic EX Coupe. Up front is a 1.6 liter inline 4, and down below is a 4-speed automatic transmission. Now I am super excited to be driving this Honda Civic because it is a survivor car. This particular car only has 87,000 miles on it. It was up until recently a one-owner car from California, so it is incredibly clean, and I am so excited to share this time capsule with you today. But if you would like to share your vehicle with me, you can head on over to my website, zackprato.com/submit. It's a quick and easy submission form, takes under a minute to fill out, and I come out to you, and you would get a video of your car, just like the one you're watching now, of this EK Civic. But let's get back to that D16 under the hood, making 127 horsepower. Well, it does have VTEC, which is nice. However, it's not anything too crazy beyond that. It is a single overhead cam engine, so it's not the most rev-happy thing in the world, and for Civics, this was the more mundane, run-of-the-mill engine. There's a little bit of an oil burning issue, but this is pretty standard practice for engines that go the distance. However, it is a very, very reliable engine. Now, like I said, paired to it is a 4-speed automatic, and of course, right off the bat, you might say as a car enthusiast, oh, it's an automatic, I don't care. But I do think that the automatic played a big role in preserving this car, and we'll talk about that a little bit later on. It's fine. It's a little hesitant to shift here and there, but it's a 23-year-old automatic. What can you do? Last but not least, of course, the Civic is front-wheel drive. So how does it feel to drive a 23-year-old Honda Civic in such good condition? Well, it's actually a really nice experience. Driving something like this really makes you realize how far cars have come in the last 23 years, and maybe not even necessarily in a good direction. This car feels light and nimble and easy. It feels like Sunday slippers. You know, it feels like that big comfy nightshirt that you sleep in. It's warming, it's charming, it's non-aggressive, and cars these days have gotten a lot bigger, a lot thicker, a lot safer. To be fair, a lot safer. But this gets 32 miles to the gallon and just does the flippin' job it's asked to do. And I personally believe that this was not only peak Honda, but peak economy car. But that's another rant for another day. With that stuff out of the way, let's talk about the interior. Well, in front of me, I have 3 gauges. Off to the left is my tachometer, in the center is my speedometer, and off to the right is my fuel and coolant temperature. I love how simple and easy these are to read. At a single glance, I can tell exactly what's going on. On the steering wheel, I just have my horn buttons and my cruise control to the bottom right, and the steering wheel is this hard plastic I've come to know and love from this era of Honda. Off to the left, we do have a climate control vent, cruise control button, as well as gauge dimmer switch, sunroof options, and power mirror options, both added here in the EX, which I love. Moving on to the door, we have our power locks and power windows, along with this nice fabric on the door card, which I really enjoy. Moving into the center, we do have a hazard switch, our climate control vents, our climate controls off to the left, and then the stock radio off to the right. So it's kind of mixed in here. You kind of get a mix of buttons, and it's not necessarily in a bad way. Climate control, very concise off to the left. The radio, very basic in the center, but I love seeing stock radios in older Honda products because you just don't see it all that much. Most people rip these out and put 18 subwoofers pointed every direction besides magnetic north, and they're always janky and messed up and whatever. So seeing the stock radio here in this EK Civic really warms my heart. Moving down below, we do have a 12-volt outlet, a little cubby, and then cup holders. So we will do a big friggin' bottle test here in the 2000 Honda Civic EX Coupe. And unfortunately it fails. I didn't expect it to pass, but these cup holders do look decent. The height is the biggest issue, so don't plan on bringing any tall drinks along in your little Honda Civic. Then we have the shifter. The shifter is very economy. It's here to do a job, and it does the job pretty well. Push button off to the left. Very easy in and out of gear. You don't need much more. Then we do have our parking brake and a little tiny center console with nothing in it. The seats are cloth, although they are comfortable. They're this really nice 90s style cloth. I truly love this cloth style. Maybe it's because I grew up in this era and it really gives me that amazing sense of nostalgia when I sit in here. But I also think that they're sort of warm and inviting, something that modern seats often lack. However, speaking of seats, although this is a coupe, we do have back seats. So let's go do a back seat review. Oh, getting back here, I feel like I should be playing with one of those Cube World little toys that you had as a kid. At least I had as a kid. Let's fix the camera. All right, so we're in the back of the EK Civic Coupe EX. Maybe I said that in the right order. Maybe I didn't. I don't know. Anyway, with the seat where it would normally be, I would be a little smashed back here. There was also, of course, the sedan variant, but this is the coupe, and it's not terrible. I can't even imagine how many kids rode to high school with their friends in this position. I did it. I had friends with Civics in high school, and this was my experience, you know, listening to Pandora music, which was huge in like 2012 when these cars were, you know, barely 10 years old and hand-me-down cars at that point. So a lot of my friends had them, and, you know, God, man, I remember Pandora music. It was so funny because you didn't get to pick what you listened to. And then Spotify came in and just changed the whole game. But go to school and you'd stop at, you know, Shell or BP on the way home and grab an Arizona iced tea and some Cheez-Its. And, you know, life was good. Sorry, this is a very nostalgic video for me, as you're going to learn real quick here. But I love it. I love it, love it, love it. Interestingly enough, over my shoulder, there's actually an unlock seat back key hole thing. So you can actually lock the seat back from folding down. Very interesting. I haven't noticed that on other cars. Let's hop out. We'll take a quick look at the trunk and cargo space, where that seat back would lead to, and then we'll talk about the looks. All right, around the back of the Civic EX. Little keyhole here. Although, I do want to show, we do have the standard key fob that came from Honda. Very, very rare to find these because people either use like Viper aftermarket ones or just lose these. And on the back here, it actually says press once for driver door, press twice for all doors. Kind of interesting there. But anyway, we don't have a trunk popper, just a little keyhole here. Pop it up. And we do have a decent amount of trunk space. I love 90s cars. I know this is 2000, but designed and built in the 90s. I love the amount of trunk space that we got. Is that less crash protection at the back? You can be the judge, but I love the space that they would offer. The owner, of course, has some oil in here for that oil burning issue with the D16s that pretty much all of them had. But one thing I love is that this car actually is completely numbers matching. I know we normally talk about Cudas and Challengers being numbers matching, but every fender on this car has the VIN number on it, and they all match for this vehicle, which is fantastic and hard to find with these Civics. But anyway, that's the trunk space of a 2000 Honda Civic EX Coupe. Now we gotta talk about the looks, and I love the look of this EK. I think this generation of Civic not only looks great, maybe it is a little bit of macaroni styling. Macaroni styling is a term that I coined, basically meaning a blobby, ugly car, but I love it because I grew up with it. I grew up eating Kraft mac and cheese, and whenever I have it nowadays, it gives me that sense of nostalgia. And so looking at these cars makes me remember high school, junior high, elementary school. My friends' parents drove these cars. I had an art teacher that drove one of these. I had plenty of friends that drove them, either hand-me-down or hand-me-downs. I also do want to point out on the exterior, this was a California car, and it was owned by an older lady, and she never took this sticker off the window. Now, us Illinoisans, we don't know what the heck this sticker is, but everywhere in California, it's like this law that they have to tell you that there's chemicals in it that could cause cancer and birth defects. So all cars in California came with these stickers, but everyone removes them because they're ugly and whatever, but the old lady didn't. So this is my first time dealing with a sticker like this, which I think is just a cool piece of history. And so let's get on to my final thoughts. What do I think driving this 2000 Honda Civic? It's great. It's wonderful. I love driving dated but clean cars. This is a true snapshot of economy vehicles when we turned over the millennium. And being a kid of the 90s, this is my era. This is the era that I will talk about for the rest of my life. At dinner parties, at social events, to myself in bed at night, I will always talk about the 2000s. It was just such an iconic era for me. I mean, take a look at Spotify's top hits of the 2000s. There's no way that you can't find a song that you love on this list. It was such a wide variety. And not to mention, just in pop culture, the frosted tips, we were coming out of the 90s. It was the first time in recorded history that the year started with a 2. I mean, it was so amazing. We were just coming off the back of Y2K, a scare that the computers were going to shut down. It was just such a visceral time. And this is a relic from that time. But now, I'm going to do what my comment section has been asking me to do for the last several years, and that is shut up. I'm going to let you enjoy this clean, unmodified, very loved Honda Civic, because it's just something you have to see to believe. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Huge thank you to Keegan for letting me take out his Honda Civic. When he sent me this car, I had to jump on it. It's such a clean, amazing example. Keegan's been absolutely awesome to work with. I have filmed a bunch of his vehicles in the past, and I'm sure a bunch of his vehicles yet to come in the future. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, and subscribe if you really liked it. Take care, guys.